You're listening to the Girl Talk podcast brought to you by the Stoner Group at UBS Financial. We thank you for listening today. My name is Carol.
This is Alicia.
Hey, I'm Tricia.
And today we are talking about ways to say I love you without using words. Because that was about 16 love.
Yeah, you had a lot of O's in there, or maybe they were used.
I tend to stretch things out quite a bit. I don't know if you've noticed that about me or not. But.
We love it about you, darling.
Actually, Tricia brought this idea to us because that's something that you've been, I think, doing. You're so good at this, though. It
I know.
Kind of makes me
it's
sick
your
sometimes.
love language,
You
I
are.
think, anyway.
You're
an encourager.
You are.
Oh, well,
Every
thank
day.
you. Thank you. Did I tell you all look lovely today?
No, but tell me again.
You do look lovely today. It is true. It is true. But I
This
have
comes
been
naturally
living this
to you.
Well, I've actually been the recipient of this lately, and that's what is bringing
Okay.
this to the forefront of my mind. And I'm just so grateful to. I'm just going to say my husband right now, because he has shown love in ways that I don't know that he necessarily signed up for 17 years ago when we said I do. You know, you think for better or for worse, but you kind of think for better. Well,
you say for better or worse, but you hope for better.
That's right. You kind of do the finger. That's right. You're hoping for the better. Well, we've had a good bit of worse lately with what happened with my parents and having to kind of just change our lives to sort of support my dad specifically. And I have seen my husband rise to this occasion so many times in so many practical ways. And I was just thinking about it this weekend because he got up early and he made breakfast for my dad on Saturday morning, on Sunday morning. And this man is tired. He's in his boxers there making eggs. But he did it out of love. And he did it so I could go back to bed because I had been up with my dad during the night. He needs some extra care right now. And he just said, please go back and sleep. And he made waffles and eggs and sausages. And it was just such a practical thing. But he didn't stop there. He swept and vacuumed my dad's house. And there's all this kind of stuff there. There's medical stuff there. It's not a comfortable place to be. And just seeing him on his hands and knees, like getting like parts of the floor that you couldn't easily reach. It just was such a display of love. And you know, you think about who you're going to marry or who you're going to date, and you know, the good-looking one or the cute one or the funny one or the popular one. Those were sort of the ideas in my head. Find the one who will vacuum your dad's house when he's recovering from extensive injuries. It just amazed me to see him do that. And I think it's made me love him more than I've ever loved him. And you know, we're not having a lot of date nights right now. It's just not on our docket. But to see him bend down there and just clean that floor, that image of him sweeping and getting that stuff and then vacuuming and just making those eggs, I appreciate it so much. And it made me think about the people in our lives that show love to us without saying it. Yeah, you can say it, and I say it to a lot of people, and I try to mean it. But when, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I try to read it.
I do.
But sometimes it's better to show it than to say it.
Thank you. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I try to mean it.
I'm doing my best.
I'm doing the best. Yeah.
But and you know, even the meals that we've gotten, my dad's church is now providing meals 3 times a week. That's love.
It
You don't have
is.
to say I love you when you come bring a lasagna or a meatloaf.
I
mean, that's
nothing that says I love you like lasagna.
It was good lasagna too.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you have to find what's the recipient's love language. But in this case of someone providing a meal, that is some people's love language of providing, like a meal. Some people, that's not their thing, and they're never going to provide a meal. I remember when someone gave me a meal, and they're like, you know what? I don't cook. I'm not going to do it. But give me your Chinese takeout order because I'm going to order it. I will
That would
call
be
and
me.
pay for it, and it'll get delivered to your house.
That would be me.
And I appreciated that even though she doesn't cook, she was willing to give us this meal.
Probably more because you wouldn't have gotten sick. You know, because if I cook something, like I have this friend named Tanya, and her love language is pound cake.
Oh, yeah.
And like she makes
Tanya.
she makes the meanest. I mean, like
goodness.
it makes your mouth water before you even taste it. It's that good, you know. And I'm just not that way. They laugh at me all the time because I'm like, I can pick up a frozen lasagna and a bag of salad and salad dressing, and I'll leave it on your porch. But other than that, I'm out. I just don't. I can't do that.
But think of all the different ways that you show love or receive love other than the saying. There's the meals, but there's also cards. There's also text. There's also sticky notes.
Yeah.
There's also just little bits of encouragement. And Carol, you've been sharing that on your show, Ways of Changing the World.
Yeah.
And I think those are like little ways to say I love you without having to say the words that we've all heard in every song in the world.
Yeah. And I think we try to make it too hard.
Yeah.
Because we automatically default to what we're not good at. Like when somebody says, how do you show love? I'm like, well, I can't cook. So it ain't gonna be that way, So I automatically go to what I'm bad at, not what I'm good at,
And you're so good at showing encouragement. You are, and encouraging people to show
encouragement. Sometimes I mean it.
I love you.
But I think it is true. It's the little things that we do each and every day. I'll tell you what happened to me. I was on my way home from work one day, and I pulled off the interstate and was waiting to turn left, and there was a person sitting there with a sign, and it said, "Traveling, anything will help." And so I'm looking around. I'm like I don't have any money. I don't have any change. And all of a sudden, I looked in front of me. There was, I'll never forget this, a white Toyota Highlander in front of me. And the window rolled down. I was like, oh, this guy's going to give money. And out comes a lunchbox.
Oh.
Well, I think it was the guy's lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And he just gave us whole lunch.
And he just hands it out the window. And then it wasn't a little lunch. It was a big lunch. It was like one of the big lunch bags,
Yeah.
And the person stood up and they took it, and there was this look on their face like, wow, you just gave me your lunch, And I'm sitting there thinking, all I can think of is money,
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I got 50 cents in here somewhere. I don't know. And all I could think of was money, because I think that, there again, that's the default of what I don't have. Yeah. But this person rolled down the window, gave them their lunch, and I was like, God just spoke to me and said, remember that story about the little boy who just had lunch and he gave it and multiplied, that whole thing?
Yep.
That's real. And it just happened right there in front of you in a Toyota Highlander.
That's cool.
It was so cool. And it was a great reminder to me to stop looking around for what I don't have. What is it? What have I placed in your hands? What is God?
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is may sound silly, but this is one of the things I do at the grocery store. Is I can reach the top shelf of the grocery store.
Don't discount that at all.
That's good.
And sometimes I pay attention, especially older people that are
Oh,
there.
yes.
Short and stubby
you
people.
can see they're struggling. They're looking up. And the other day, a woman actually asked me if I could reach something for her, and I'm like, I'm glad to do it. But sometimes I try to pay attention for people who are shorter and can't reach up there, and I ask them if I can get something from the top shelf.
That's cool. Yes.
I'm following you to the grocery store, because do you know how many times I have almost broken those?
Well,
just
because I
shoving
can
down
see them
those
trying to
shelves.
step
Yeah.
up, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
have
Or
to do that
jumping.
at some of the bigger things. But yeah, I mean, I know it's a
Use
little
what you
thing, but
have.
I'm like, yeah, that's so use
awesome.
what you have. It's
Totally.
like, you know what? And you can tell they don't really want to ask, but those shelves
Nobody
are
likes to
high.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get them that stuff down on the floor for you. It's right at my eye level, I tell you, it is. Use what you got.
And here's something that you mentioned: the grocery store. I don't know why, but life happens at the grocery store for me. Like I'm
Yeah.
getting life lessons all day long at the grocery store. I guess because I'm always at the grocery store. That's
Yeah.
probably why. Paying attention is one of the greatest ways of showing love. And I'm talking about there was a bagger who was bagging my stuff. I was out of town at a grocery store, and this kid started chatting with me about something. And I wasn't interested in what he was talking about at all. I had 7 things rolling in my mind. But I could tell that he really wanted to talk about that. And so I remembered that quote somebody had said, paying attention is one of the greatest ways to show love. So I literally turned my upper body toward him, and I looked at him, and I listened and responded to what he said. And I couldn't have been less interested in the actual content, but I cared about him, and I wanted him to feel that I was listening to him and paying attention to him, because that's what I want somebody to do for me when I have something on my heart. And that was a good lesson, because I walked away feeling good about that, not like, oh, well, that was 20 seconds of my life I'll never get back. But the fact that I listened, it made me feel good, and I could tell it made him feel good.
You know what you did the other week when your son was visiting and he was playing a video game? And we talked about this on the tech podcast. Tricia and I did a little tech podcast, and
Yeah, I know y'all left me out of that one.
But he was like, your son was like, hey, mom, look, I got to this next level. You want to see? And you're kind of getting there. She's trying to get them out of the office because it was time to go. And he was finishing up the game and trying to wrap it up. And he really wanted Tricia's attention. I mean, he wanted her attention. But you stopped. And you said, okay, buddy, show me. And you stayed and listened to him explain this whole thing that, and our brains are shutting down because it's video games. But I think that moment meant a lot to him.
Oh, that's good. I needed to hear that.
Kids want to talk about stuff they're interested in, even if we are not interested. So I do the same thing. I listen sometimes. They tell me about things, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to pay attention and listen to this, even though I don't know what this means, but I know it's important to you.
It's his love language, in a sense. So that's good. I remember you saying that, and that's probably why I did that. Yeah.
Y'all go ahead. I got nothing.
We're going to go to the grocery store with Alicia right now.
That's right.
But it's like maybe it's watching a show that your kid likes that you don't like, but you're sitting together watching it because they want to show you.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. However, when you're an expressive person, your face will tell on you.
Oh, yes.
Because that's what happened to me. I mean, like, I'm trying so hard, but my face is going, I'm not getting it. It's like, that's why I could never sing in the choir at church. Because if I see something, it's like written all over my face. That's why I can't be on television. Because it's all over my face. I can't fake it.
You're good in radio.
No, I know. And it's for that very reason.
That's funny.
Oh.
I love it. That's great, though.
Well, I'll just be honest with you. We've had a challenge around our house with attention and all that stuff. So
yeah,
it's
hard.
I'm in one of those seasons where if you want to do parenting, just do the opposite of whatever I do, and you'll be fine. Just do the exact opposite.
Write a book.
You're okay. Yeah. How not to do it. I feel like that most of the time. But
do choose your own adventure books parenting.
There you go.
If you do this.
A series.
Yeah.
Write your own ending. Oh, don't you wish that was true?
Yes.
All right. Is that all we got? I think that's
good. Show love today. Show love today. And challenge yourself to do it in ways other than saying it.
And try to mean it.
And do your best to mean it. All right, I'm just being flat out real with you.
We love you so much.
We do love you.
And we do mean that.
Yes,
we do mean that.
We do. And I'm not making a funny face at all right now. So even if you could see me, you would believe me. But we appreciate you being a part of the Girl Talk podcast. Don't forget, we're now on iTunes. You can check us out there. You can leave a review. If you would leave a nice one, we'd appreciate it. Because none of us needs to do the next show about, when people don't like it. We've already done that show. We don't need to do that one again. So share it with your friends. You can email us, girltalk@thelightfm.org. You can
love your emails.
We can get in touch that way. Main thing is that you come back here next time for the Girl Talk podcast. Thank you once again to our friends at the Stoner Group at UBS Financial. We appreciate your support for the Girl Talk podcast, and we'll see you next time.